Hey guys, welcome to the Gamers Lounge podcast. My name is John Meadows. With me as always is Eric, Nathaniel, and Robert. And for some reason, the screen is all crazy, and I don't know why. Did the wrong one. There we go. It picked the wrong. I've got too many. I got too many sources on there, so it picked the wrong. Picked the wrong source, so it was all jumbled and crazy, but for the live stream anyway. But no, we're good now. We got it all figured out. So anyway, my name is John, and Eric, Nathaniel, Robert. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening?
What's happening? It's Saturday night.
It is Saturday night.
It is Saturday night. Yeah, it is.
For you guys, I just got done eating dinner. So.
Oh yeah, well, we should have ate dinner, but I came home and took a nap. So I haven't eaten dinner yet. I've took a nap.
Taco night for us.
I had a terrible headache when we got done grocery shopping, and we went over and saw the niece for about an hour and a half, and then we came home and it was like 7 o'clock. I'm like, I've got to lay down and try to shake this headache. And Nikki was like, "What about dinner?" I was like, "We'll just eat later, or I'll eat a bowl of cereal before I go to bed."
That's the standard. What do you want for dinner? How about a bowl of cereal?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not going to complain.
Well, what was funny was I can't remember if it was last night or the night before last. I think it was Thursday night. I was out, or Thursday. I was out working, and I stopped and got Taco Bell on the way home. And ate dinner, and then got home, and then Nikki was like, "I'm hungry." I'm like, "Okay." Well, she's like, "I don't want to fix anything. Let's go to Taco Bell."
Oh no!
You're like, whoa.
I went, "This is going to be a horrible mistake, but okay."
But did you get the same thing?
No. I got something different. But to have Taco Bell twice in one day is within hours apart of each other. That could be disaster if you're not if you're not careful.
He's going in a direction.
Ooh, yeah, literally. But we're not here to talk about digestion and Taco Bell. I mean, unless you want to. I mean, it's up to you.
Probably not the best.
Okay, all right then. Well, we'll just talk about games like we always do. So we'll talk about what we've been playing. It's been actually a couple of weeks since we've done a regular show. I had family in the last time we were supposed to do an episode, so we've got a lot of news to talk about and a lot of games that we've played. I'm trying to see. Looks like me and Eric have played a couple of the same things. I played the Division 2 beta. That was the private VIP beta that I played. I have not played. The open beta is going on right now. I actually liked it. I liked it better than the Division 1. What was your thoughts on it, Eric?
I liked it. It feels a lot of so if you liked Division 1, you're going to like this game. It feels a lot of the same. There's some cool little tweaks with the weapons and the customization.
Also,
one thing I did notice,
anybody was a
buildings.
bullet sponge.
Yeah, the buildings and stuff still remind me of the first game. Going to these places and it's pretty much empty, which is how it's supposed to be. But I'm like, obviously it'd be kind of cool to have more things going on there. But I liked it. Played nice. I am not certain if I'm going to get it day one. I know you're very on it, but for me, I'm kind of like, well, we'll see what else is out at that time. And I mean, I know there's at least a couple people that said they play, but I'm like, well, maybe I'll get on PC. But then I'm like, well, maybe I'll just wait for the price.
Yeah, it's coming out at a good time for me anyway. Mid-March, there's really nothing major coming out. So, we were playing Anthem the other night, and my buddy was like, "Are you going to get the Division 2?" I went, "Yeah, I think I am." And he was like, "Okay, well, I'll get it too." And probably what's going to be is me and him's going to co-op through the story, and that'll probably be about it until new story content comes up, and then we'll probably play through it. Story.
Well, you want some PvP action?
Probably not. Did you?
Some of the Dark Zone stuff with a buddy.
Yeah.
I finished the single player by myself pretty much. I played a couple times with other people.
Yeah.
But I did the PvP stuff with a buddy for a while. But you really need a dedicated squad if you're going to do the PvP. I think it's 4 men or more.
Yeah, it was 4. I don't know what it is this time around, if it's the same or not.
The 2 of us would just get screwed a lot. So.
Yeah, and that's what happened with us, and we just didn't care for it, so we played it with single player.
Though, with the Division 1, I wasn't really certain what I would expect, and I did enjoy it. So, in a nutshell, I will probably enjoy the second one.
Yeah, I mean, so far I like the story. The graphics seem to have gotten a little bit of bump.
Yeah.
Even though
still really nice.
Yeah, I mean the gunplay's nice. Each gun feels different. My thing is, so far I didn't bump into any bullet sponge bad guys like you did in the first one. There was a lot of times you just empty out your ammo stock trying to kill people, and it was ridiculous. But this one seems a little more balanced. They know what they're doing this time around too, so it's a little bit better, I think. But I like the setting. I know a lot about, grew up visiting DC once or twice a year, every year, because my brother lived over there. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, look, there's that layout. Oh look, they're in Ford's Theater where they set up a base. That's kind of neat. It's kind of, this and that. So, but we'll, like I say, we'll play through the campaign, however long it is, and we usually do it all co-op. So, but we'll pick it up. I mean, nothing else.
You got somebody to play with. That's a great way to have it. Play the co-op. Enjoy. There needs to be more games that have co-op campaigns like that.
Yeah. The other thing I've been playing, actually a lot of this week, was Anthem. Really wasn't planning on playing that much, but my buddy was actually off the first part of the week, so I played it Saturday and Sunday by myself, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we played as a group. And we actually have had a really good time with it. We've had no loading issues or drops or weird things that everybody online is banging their heads with and screaming and shouting about. So I'm guessing we just maybe lucky. I don't know. I know a lot of the people that I follow that I on Twitter that are playing it said that they're stepping away from it till they get the technical issues, but we haven't had any technical issues. So we've actually, I think I'm level
dodged a bullet
17 or 18, I think, something like that.
What's max level?
You know what? I don't even know.
30.
Is it 30? See, I don't even know what max level is. I have not looked. I didn't do any research on the game. It's like I haven't done any backstory lore looking or, how in-game is or nothing. We're just playing it. And, I mean, so far it's pretty cool. I like how you unlock the different javelins, which is nice. That was one of my main gripes with Destiny is when you finish the main campaign or you want to start another character, you had to play that whole campaign over again to really level it up and get weapons and stuff. So it's like, if you wanted one of each character, you ended up having to play that campaign over 3 times, and usually about halfway through the second one, it was just like, or second time playing, it was just like, I want to play it again. But there was no other way to level it, at least with the javelins, the way it is this one, you may be a little weak, but things scale, so you can rerun story missions with people or just do free play, and, you'll start leveling that equipment up really quick. Which is kind of cool, so you don't actually have to go through the whole story again, which I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, and it really is. And we've kind of started playing it and figured out, well, to have a really good time, we need a tank, so we need somebody being a Colossus, and of course I'm the Ranger guy, which is kind of like the equivalent of the hunter, I guess you would say. I just do nothing but run around and shoot things, which is fine with me. That's well, I just can't find a machine gun that I like, as always. That's the way it is. But all the time. But yeah, I mean, but man, the Colossus. They were one of the guys was playing with the Colossus. He could literally just run around and bulldoze over people with his shield. And it was like, yeah, the Colossus is going to get nerfed here when they first do a big update, because they're just not going to let you run across to run ramp.
I usually play the tank classes.
Yeah, the tank, it's pretty cool. I mean, you can't fly as far. I mean, it's a great big bulky thing, so you're not fast. But man, you got a huge grenade launcher and a great big machine gun. Those are your 2 weapons with a shield the size of your Colossus, and it's interesting. I like it. It's very cool. It's very pretty. And like I said, we haven't had any technical issues like most people have. So I guess it's chalk it up to
technical issues on every platform too. So it's not like it's just one.
Yeah. I mean, we have. I think the longest load time we had was maybe almost a minute, and that was one time when we were logging into free play. But most of the time with the story modes, it's less than 30 seconds, and we're boom, boom, boom. So
I think the thing with the loading screens that bugs most people is just the way that the game runs. Is you have loading screens for so many different things that like you can get caught in a bunch of loading screens in a row. It's not that any individual one is super crazy, but when you're doing like 4 or 5 loading screens in a row from what you're trying to do, then it gets kind of annoying.
Well, and one thing that I found, a lot of people, and maybe I just didn't think about it at first, but every time I wanted to start a mission, I would go, I'd go all the way around the place and get pick up missions, and then walk all the way back to where my javelin was and hop in my javelin. Well, I don't actually have to do that. Once I'd pick up all my missions, I could actually hit the triangle button and just launch the mission from where I'm standing, which saves load times because you don't have a loading screen when you jump into the other screen. So you can just go boop, boop, and you only have one loading screen, not 2 loading screens, which... for the longest time, I was walking from one end of the map in the fort to the other, and be like, "Man, this sucks. I have to walk all this way." And it's like, "Oh wait, I could just hit triangle and zap right to that mission, or right to the mission selection screen." So
yeah, one of the things that I've heard that would bug me if I was playing it is if you want to change your loadout right after you start, because you try something, you're like, "I don't like it." You'd have to go all the way back to change it out, rather than being stuck with it. And doing that too many times in a game that's based around loot, you're kind of like, it could get old if you like to swap things a lot.
Yeah, and that's what we found. We would, at the end of every mission, we would go back to the fort, and I would usually go into the forge and immediately swap my weapons, then go into the fort and talk to everybody and get my new missions, and then come back. When we were doing free play, we would just walk around for maybe do little free play things for 20 or 30 minutes and then go back and do it, because you didn't want to go back every time, because then you'd have to load in, go to the forge, then load it, and then load out again. I think if they don't do this, I'll be surprised. I figure they'll do an Anthem app like Destiny did that will allow you to hot swap things from the app. That's what Destiny did. So you could download the app, you could be out in the middle of the game and go peep pop, and I can immediately just switch my loadout on the app on my phone.
It's kind of interesting.
They may do that.
I don't know
they
if
may
they'll do
not.
that or not. It could just be an engine thing where how they built the game, it just doesn't work that way.
It could be.
It would certainly be nice if you could.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's still, they've only done 2 small patches to it. So
yeah, I mean, the game hasn't been out technically for that long, really. And they've done quite a bit of patches in that time. So maybe it'll be something they add on in all the content that's coming.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know, but we're enjoying ourselves. So like I said, it's when we're trying to do all the story missions together. Because what's funny is I kind of got ahead of everybody where I was playing, and they didn't start until that Monday. So I played deep into the story on Saturday and Sunday. Then when we got up together Monday, I wasn't the team lead; the other guy was. But the missions that we were doing were actually missions that I had, not they. They didn't, and you couldn't tell the difference when you got into the team load screen where you pick a mission and load up and everything like that. Whoever has control of it is the one that picks the missions. So instead of having just their missions that the team leader has, it has everybody's missions in there. So we were just taking the top ones and going down. Well, what we realized was we were doing my missions. So they had went through and done all this stuff, and then when I wasn't on, they had to go back and they started talking to people. They were like, "Oh, well, here we go. We got to go do all these missions again because they're missions." And so it's like, I don't know how they're going to fix that, because that's a little weird to me, because the whole time I thought we were playing missions, I thought I was playing missions over again, and realized that I wasn't. We were playing missions that they needed to play.
It should be like whoever's hosting should have their missions and everything else following.
Yeah, that would have made much more sense. So I don't know. I don't know how that works, because by the time it was just me and the other guy playing, we just did free play, so we didn't do any of the mission stuff. So when we stopped playing the other day, we were all at the same spot, because I kept going, "No, don't choose that mission. That's my mission. You want to choose the mission below that one, so you don't have to do it again."
Missions with Fallout 76, basically, depends on whose game you join. Like if I join my brother, and and I'm joining his party, and he has certain missions he's working on. We can't really work on mine. We have to work on his.
Right.
And it's like, it's kind of like,
yeah. And I don't mind playing missions over again, because you get to save XP and loot if you play it again. So it's like, I don't mind playing them over again, and they really didn't either. It didn't really make a big deal to them, but at the same time, it's like, man, I hate for you to get ahead in the story and then have to, when I leave, you go back and you have to play this over again.
Yeah, it's always a bummer.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe there was a setting or something. I really don't know. I don't know if maybe there was a setting in the host menu that would, whoever the team lead was could. I don't know. We didn't look that far into it. We didn't care. So, but yeah. So I mean, that's all I've been playing. Robert, what have you been playing? Looks like you've only been playing one game. So
yeah, I've been trying to do some catch up since there isn't anything big for me coming out until Devil May Cry 5 next week. Which
you didn't get the new Kingdom Hearts?
No, I never played through the second one completely. So this is actually my, I want to say, third or fourth time starting this game over now. So this is it. This is the last time I'm going to try to play through this game. So I don't know. I'm probably about 4 hours in at this point. I just got past the prologue section again. It wasn't good the first time I played it, but yeah. Here we are 3 times later. So I'm excited to put in some more time so that I can finally be done with it and cross it off the list.
Yeah, really? Jeez, that's crazy.
But
off that giant backlog.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get caught up. I don't think there's anything besides Devil May Cry 5 that I'm expecting to get for a while. Actually, I don't even know what's coming out after that until the fall.
Sekiro later this month.
I have thought about getting that one. It looked really cool. I did order the Steelbook just to have it. Yeah, well, I went ahead and ordered at Amazon you could order the Steelbook for $1, so I went ahead and ordered the Steelbook, so it's like if I ever get this game, I'll already have the Steelbook for it. So I have thought about getting it, but it's like next month is Division, and there was something else next month that was coming, and I don't remember what it was, and I was like, I'm not going to be here, so it's like I don't want to pile too many games in. The Division's one thing, but if it's a Switch game, then that's fine, but I don't remember what it is now. Well, anyway, so is this the Kingdom Hearts that you should play before you play Kingdom Hearts 3? I don't know. There's so many Kingdom Hearts games out there. There's 1.2, 2.5, and 2.7.
You need to play every single one. Every single one.
I'm not like a super fan. Like I really enjoyed the first one, and that's really the only one I had enjoyed.
Yeah.
But from what I hear from my friends who are much more into Kingdom Hearts than I am, they say they're all really important as far as story is concerned.
Oh my gosh.
But I've also been hearing that, if you jump into Kingdom Hearts 3, like, it doesn't matter, because if they want you to know something about the story, they're just going to drill it into your head.
Well, that makes sense.
This is just what I've been hearing since I haven't played it. But the story doesn't make sense regardless. So, just you could start with the third one. It's fine.
Well, it's like I know there was
or
2 points.
Just ignore it.
Yeah, that's usually what I do. Is I just ignore it. I mean,
not a bad decision, but I enjoyed the first one, so I want to see it through. I've been waiting, 15 years for Kingdom Hearts 3. So
yeah, well, it's like
should probably get to
I'm like, maybe I'd like to play it. Nah, it's like, and then I get to looking at things. It's like Kingdom Hearts 2.75 HD plus with bonus content. It's like, what the? I don't even understand.
They don't know how to name things. I know. I'm a big Disney fan, and I was, I'm a big Square fan. So to me, it was great. I enjoy it, but it's very cringy. Like it.
Yeah.
You have to really like the source material.
Yeah, I remember playing the first one on PS2, and I thought it was okay. But I wasn't a huge.
That's fair.
I wasn't a huge fan.
It really is just okay. But
yeah. I mean, it was fine. It was fine for what it was. And at the time, it was kind of like, whoa, a Square Enix game with Disney characters.
Yeah, and that was the big thing, yeah.
It was like
if you go back and you deconstruct it, it's not, this phenomenal game. It's fun. It's an action RPG, and it's lighthearted, and I like seeing Final Fantasy characters interact with Disney characters. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, for what it was, I appreciate it, and and I'm glad it exists. But at the same time, it's like, do I really want to play it? I don't know. There's this. It's kind of like
it's a headache, man. I'm just invested at this point.
It's like I've got so many other games that could give me a headache that I really need to play. It's like, do I really need one more on top of the pile? That But it's cool that you're having a good time with it. Now that's on. Okay, that is on PS4. See, I don't even know what one it's on. I remember when it came out on PS3, and then it
was originally a PS2 game,
right? Yeah.
So I had it on the PS2, and I got, I don't know, halfway in, and I just said, you know what, I think I'm done with this game because I didn't like it as much as I liked the first one.
Yeah.
But I always regretted never finishing it. So then, you know, it came out on the PS3. My roommate had it. I played it on the PS3. Somehow stopped playing it, I guess, and that was probably about another 6 hours in. So here I am again, starting it on the PS4 this time.
Yeah,
we'll see how far we get.
Yeah, it's
motivated. He's gonna finish it.
Yeah,
that's right.
And it will be a huge accomplishment when he does, and we'll all give him a clap for
just a little clap. But then I got to start the third one. So
yeah. I mean, the third one's, I've seen some of the graphics on it and some gameplay videos. It looks really, really good.
It looks pretty. Yeah, for sure.
It looks pretty. So
I tried to watch some like the side stories that they put on the disc from the different handhelds, and oh my god, it was awful. It was like 3 hours of awful Game Boy like cutscenes, and I felt so bad. I had Michelle next to me. She's like, "How long is this thing?" I'm like, "I don't know, maybe an hour and a half."
She fell asleep.
3 hours later, and it's literally like the same 3 scenes over and over and over again.
See, I think I would just go read the Wikipedia about it and just.
I should have. I thought I was at least gonna get some trophies out of it, but they took the trophies out of the PS4 version for some reason.
Really? Oh,
never again. Oh my god.
That's terrible.
I'll just read it. It's fine.
Yeah, really.
I'll watch a recap in 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, really. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there that's done a video that has Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 in 3 minutes. I mean, I'm almost positive there's probably one out there.
For sure.
Or in a minute, they're just going to buzz through and you're going to be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, really. So, Eric, you have a very long list of stuff you've been playing other than The Division.
A couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's start at the bottom. We'll make it interesting. We will go...
Start in the middle.
Make it interesting. You know what? Let's start with the PC. So I've been playing we got a beta code for Warhammer Chaos Bane. I can't really talk very much about it, but I'll say it's kind of like a hack and slash. So if you like Diablo or Gauntlet, it's all in that form. Yeah. It's just really easy to play. A couple different classes. You'll find something that fits you. It's fun. A little repetitive, but we'll see how it shakes out. Looks and plays pretty good.
It looked pretty cool.
Pretty small game so far, at least file size-wise on Steam. But I'm enjoying that. Spent a couple hours of that today, and I was like, all right, I can definitely see myself playing this, especially if I had somebody to play with. Let's see, what else? I picked up a bunch of... a few Wii games I had been missing that I never actually... Oh, that's not true. I owned Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles at one time. I think when I first had my Wii, and must have traded it in. But I like that game a lot. I like the Resident Evil shooting games a lot for the Wii. And I have the other one, Umbrella Chronicles, but Dark Side Chronicles is a lot better.
Yeah.
And my wife likes the shooting games on the Wii, so it's another game we can play together.
Yeah.
Plus, she's kind of interested. Gets her kind of interested in Resident Evil, so... Yeah. I didn't play this, but I also picked up the Punch-Out game for Wii, which I had been looking for a long time.
Yeah, that one's a really good one. I love that one.
I should try that.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think they also had Demon Blade too, so I can play that as well.
I haven't played that one.
Is Punch-Out the one with Little Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you like Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the NES or the Punch Out on the Super Punch Out, you'll love the Punch Out on the Wii. It's really, really good. It's I think it's one of the best games on the console.
Yeah, and I'm eager to try it. I'm like, yes, finally.
Yeah.
It's not that it's. I mean, I think there's at least one or two GameStops in town that had it, but I'm pretty sure
we always had one in stock. I felt like,
and that was a greatest hits game for like $20.
Well. Yeah. But I was like, I'll just wait till a local guy had it cheaper. Let's see what else we've been playing.
I never picked it up. I should have.
If I've seen another cheap copy, I'll let you know. For Dreamcast, I recently I got Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for $40 from a friend, which is a pretty good deal for its mint condition. Yeah. There's a buddy that I had traded. He bought a couple things for me at a convention about a year ago. One of the games didn't work, so he was holding this copy for me, and he just kept dropping the price. And I bought a couple other things, and this came out to $40. Fantastic game. Plays like the arcade if you've never played it.
Yeah, I have it.
Another local friend was selling all of his Dreamcast games, or most of the games he's not going to play. He had Dynamite Cop.
I don't have that one. I love that one.
I paid a little. I paid below market, but not that much for it.
I don't even know how much it's worth now. I don't know.
50 plus.
Really?
Yeah.
Crap. I had it back in the day, and I loved it, and I don't know if I've traded it or loaned it to somebody and never got it back or what, but I don't have it anymore.
I mean, it's like Zombies Revenge or Die Hard Arcade.
Yeah, it's actually a sequel to Die Hard Arcade.
Do you remember it back in the day? I tried it on my Dreamcast, and it seemed like sluggish, like it would take forever. Like maybe it's because of some of the like QTE scenes. You do something and then you're waiting and waiting.
Maybe I don't. It's been so long since I played it. I really don't remember.
But the game disc is in great shape, and the Dreamcast reads everything else just fine. So.
I have a burned copy of it. I don't have an original anymore. That's why I say I don't know. I don't know why I didn't have the original. It's just weird.
It's one of those games where people are like, "You need to play this," and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna treat myself and get it and see what it's like." And so far, I liked it so far. I just got to figure out what's going on with the weird little loading problems.
That's one of my favorite games. I got to thinking about it the other day. It's like I really need a copy of Die Hard Arcade for the Saturn, and it was like I need to see. Let me get Dynamite Cop out and play. Wait, I don't have it anymore, and it's like I didn't even realize that I didn't have it anymore. So I had a weird copy of it for some reason.
Been playing a couple things for Nintendo Switch. Been playing some. Smash, still progressing my way through that.
Have you unlocked everybody yet?
I don't know. No.
It's not hard to do.
I know, but I play it like once every couple of days, and I play with it. And
you just gotta know the tricks.
Yeah,
you can do it in like 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah,
that's a lot of Smash. I love to sit down and play.
3 hours is not a lot of Smash.
3 hours later, my wife's like, "What are you doing?" Playing Smash still. Played a little bit of Tetris 99. That's pretty fun. I need to go back to it and work on my skills with it.
Yeah, it's very fun. I'm just not very good at it.
I'm kind of scared to play it just because I don't play Tetris. I'm really bad at it. But
hey, it's Tetris.
Yeah, it's Tetris. I mean,
So PS4, I jumped back into Red Dead 2 to try to finish the epilogue, and after about half an hour I was like, I'm gonna have a hard time getting back into this, because it's just like, I have to ride my horse and I have to go all the way over there, and I'm like, I really wish I could play something else. So after half an hour passed, like, all right, different game.
Is there no fast travel?
There is
fast
you
travel.
get on a
it's
train or
I mean, it's okay, but most of the time, you need to go to point A to B, and the train will is in between.
Daniel in the chat says he could sit and play Smash for an entire 8-hour shift.
That's what I'm saying.
You've got the mark has been set. You have to hit that mark. I don't have Smash, so I can't hit that mark.
I was sick a couple weeks ago, and I was out, and I didn't do much on the weekend. That's what I should have done. Just binge through Smash. I bought Metro Exodus. I haven't opened it yet. To playing that because I liked all the other Metro games.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I've heard it's very short. Most of the people that I followed on Twitter beat it in 2 days.
I can let you know once I play it.
Okay.
Because I have it as well.
I played Apex with a couple of my friends. It's your usual 3-on-3 battle royale game. I mean, it's fun. Since it's free, there's a lot of craziness going on. Played some more Mafia 3. That's been pretty fun. Still progressing toward the end, and that's about it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Nathaniel, what have you been playing?
I've been playing quite a few different things since the last show. Most of it was Subnautica, because I put about 40 hours into that game.
Wow. Like it that much now, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially once you start getting to it. Because at first it's like, hey, it's just a survival game. Get stuff so that you don't die. Like, get some food, get some water, build a little bit of a base. But then as you start exploring more and more, you find a bit more of the actual story in the game. And you get more of it fed through, because you also have this radio, they'll broadcast stuff to you every once in a while to kind of point you hey, there's a life pod over here that might have a thing in it, or here's a wreck over here, and you discover.
What is he doing?
I don't know. You don't want to know. He's going to turn the camera now. That was pretty good. Apparently he was looking for something under the couch. That's what he's And if you are not live viewers, you're missing it because it is funny to see him crawling around on the floor. But anyway, go ahead, Nathaniel. I'm very sorry. Got distracted there.
You don't crawl on the floor. You crawl into you. No, so like you get more and more powerful as you go too, and then the more gear that you get, the deeper you can go and find more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all this cool like actual storyline to it. It's not just like, hey, survive, blah blah blah, like an arc or something like that. Kind of is. It has some of the elements of that. So you have all the different aspects of like, hey, here's all these blueprints you can build for, you know, your base and build different things. Some of it's just cosmetic, some of it's got functions to it. You can eventually build both like, and you can get a mini sub that you get earlier on. You get like a 4-person sub that you have to run by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But they describe it as a 4-person sub, so it's like a bigger one that you can then put one of your smaller vehicles, which is that one mini sub, or a mech that you can also build. That's good for walking around down on the seafloor, and you can attach different arms to it. So you get like a grapple and a drill arm was my favorite, because you can use the grapple to like kind of traverse really quickly. So you use it kind of like a hook shot or something in Zelda. It's similar to that.
Yeah.
And then the drill, you have like little deposits you can drill, but you can also drill some of the like angry fish, you will say, in the face when they try to attack you.
The just angry fish.
Don't do it to any of the Leviathan class things. They're huge. You will die.
Mm.
There are some big, scary things in that game. It's really good with the atmosphere of like, okay, the deeper you go, the darker it kind of gets.
Yeah.
Usually, and then there'll be like all sorts of different plants that glow and things to kind of get light, even though you're way deep down. But then it's like really good sound design that just kind of like gets in your head, especially if you're playing with headphones on. You're just like,
you know,
it's going along. And you're like, oh man, I only have this much food in my inventory, and I only have this much battery power left, so I don't want to get stranded. And oh crap, I hear something over there. Like, do I want to really keep going deeper, or do I need to go back and get more supplies? It's really good at kind of doing that kind of.
I actually watched several Let's Plays of that when it first came out back in the day when it was new, and it seemed very interesting. I don't know why I've never actually went and bought it. I need to, but I don't know. Is it on Xbox now as well? Did I see? I thought so. I thought I saw it was on Xbox. Anyway,
welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, Harry. Where you crawling?
Cats got in here, and I had to catch the kitten.
Oh. We were wondering what you were hitting the floor for, but it was like
grenade.
Yeah, whatever. It's all good.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind the other cat, but the kitten, he'll get into pretty much everything.
Oh, I figure those kids.
You should have let him.
Yeah, chew through the cables. You know.
Yeah, you know. Hey, what's this? No.
Yeah.
Don't bite that, sir. That's the power strip.
But anyway,
people got to see me crawl around like an idiot, but oh well.
Yeah.
So I know there's probably a few things that I missed in there, but I ended up going through the whole storyline and building the rocket and blasting off the planet at the end of the game. So Subnautica, very good if you've not played it. It's a lot of fun.
Looked really cool.
It's fun because it has actual like goals in there. It's not just freeform sandbox like some of the other survival type games like that are. So it kind of keeps you going like, okay, well, I want to go down to that area, but to do that, I have to build this gear. And in order to do this gear, I should probably have this in my base to make it easier to get the materials. And so it kind of just builds on itself pretty well.
Right.
Let's see. I played some Tetris 99. It's Tetris with 99 other people. You can get more strategic than that of like, okay, you learn how to attack specific people if you really want to, or like the type of things you want to go for knockouts, or you want to go for people who are attacking you. You can switch kind of the auto thing, but you can also literally attack specific ones that you'll see on like the edges of the screen. What
was your highest ranking of it?
I think the highest I've gotten is maybe like 30 something. I don't remember.
I should play. That's an overwhelming. The first one. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, it's like Battle Royale with Tetris. Oh boy.
I tell you
all
what,
these strategies and stuff.
The ones that I have seen is a lot of the plays. I'll catch little clips on Twitter. Some of these people, it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. My brain will not work that fast. It's like,
well, it's definitely people who have played a lot of Tetris will do well at this game because It's more like, okay, here's my mindset for building it in a certain pattern in order to keep. I see these pieces are coming up next, so I can do this, this, and this, and then I'll give me a whole thing that I can knock a bunch out at once. And
right.
it's definitely a mindset that not everybody is great at. Yeah. The way they do the progression is like kind of interesting. It's like the number of people that are left in the game controls the speed at which the blocks fall. So once it's like 50 are gone, then it starts going faster, and then certain levels the blocks just start coming faster, and then also you're starting to get more junk from people because as you build up, there's different things that give you make it where you give more. So I think every time you knock someone out, you get like a little bit more powerful. So you're dropping more junk on other people. But yeah, in the end, it's like, hey, I'm playing Tetris.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yep, that's fine. I like Tetris.
But yeah, for a cool like free in quotes game that comes with the online system, pretty good. Yeah. Worth getting to have Tetris on your Switch for free. I wonder what will happen if and when an online system ever goes away. That game will just cease to function if it doesn't have
I'm
online.
Sure. Unless they would just say, "Here's Tetris," and
convert it into
convert it into regular Tetris. I mean, that'd be the only thing I would see.
Yeah. I've been
Nathaniel.
Yeah.
In the chat here, Daniel's asking if we're fans of Dark Souls and if we've heard of Ashen. He says it's like an indie Souls game. I figured I'd let you take the reins on this one.
Ashen comes to Steam because I don't want to do the Epic Store or whatever that's exclusive to on PC right now.
I
definitely want to play that game. I've seen some footage of it, stuff like, yep, that looks like kind of Dark Souls light. Or, it's kind of got the Dark Souls vibe to how the world works and going through, but there's also, like, NPCs that travel with you and things, too, that makes it a little less, like, you don't feel as isolated as you would in a Dark Souls game. And that game looked good. I like the art style and stuff I've seen of it. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. It looked cool.
Definitely one that be on my radar, but I just haven't gotten to it because I have plenty to play, and I'm not going to go just get the Epic Store just for that when I have all this other stuff. I'll wait till because it's supposed to come to Steam at some point.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like Dark Souls games fine. They're not my favorite games. I'll play them every once in a while, but that one does look cool. I am interested in it.
Yeah,
but
that's why I'm really interested.
I really enjoy the Souls games. I've never completed one, but I love them. I play each and every one of them as they come out.
I've completed 1 and 2 and got most of the way through 3, but didn't end up finishing that one.
I understand they serve a purpose. I'm terrible at them, and they're not for me.
I wish they made it easier to do co-op because I find those games extremely fun in co-op.
Yeah, they are cool co-op.
I mean, I'm looking forward to
the thing is like,
From Software's next one.
Yeah, Sekiro looks really awesome. Like they've switched up the formula enough to make it feel a lot different, but also still have enough of some of the similar things, so it won't be completely different. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see how that one turns out.
Yeah, I am too. I might actually, like we said a little while ago, I might actually get that one.
I got expensive new toys since last time we recorded too. So I have a brand new 4K TV, and of course I got an Xbox with it so that I can play 4K Blu-rays because I'm crazy.
Who buys physical movies?
I buy physical movies, but I only use the digital
you buy
codes.
Physical everything.
Well, let me tell you something. In the past 10 years, I guarantee, the past 10 years, the Blu-rays I have bought have never been taken out of the cases and put in the Blu-ray player. I buy the physical media, but I watch the digital downloads.
You see, I do the same thing, but then I just sell my Blu-rays as soon as I get them for cheaper. Yeah. I was like, I just got a free movie, so it's fine.
See, I just can't just go, I need to buy, like the Spider-Verse movie, came out Tuesday. It's like, oh man, I really ought to watch that. Well, let me just pre-order the DVD. It'll get here in 2 weeks, and then I'll watch it. Then I'll watch the streaming version of it in 2 weeks. I can wait till then. That's fine.
Digital for me.
But I'm weird that way though. But I'm and that's what I don't understand. I'm fine buying most games digital now if I really want to, unless it's something I really, really, really want to have physical. But I can't let movies go for some reason. And I guess it's because Ultraviolet's shutting down, the Sony digital thing is shutting down. It's like they're either going to box me into a corner and I'm only going to be, on Amazon, which I'm fine with. I don't think Amazon's ever going to shut down, But it's like, man, what if Vudu shuts down and then I've got 200 digital movies on there and then they're just gone, It's like, I don't know. I can't trust myself. I can't trust myself to go full digital with movies yet. Because...
I mean,
Daniel says he just rents them on YouTube. Who does that?
Rents them on YouTube. Okay. If I was going to rent them, I would rent them on Amazon, but that's just me. I wouldn't.
I mean, I've definitely done that here and there, but I like having the discs because it's easier to, borrow a disc, or to go, hey, here, we'll watch some stuff with a disc, and then if you have all your stuff digital. So.
Well, what we usually do is we would buy like the Disney movies on Blu-ray. And do digital. And then the wife, during the last couple of days of school, they let them do whatever. So usually she would take the DVDs when they were Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. She would take the DVDs and then they watch the cartoon movies. But now their internet's so good, she doesn't even take the DVDs. She just logs into Netflix or she logs into the Amazon where all our movies are at, and they just stream them. So it's like, well, now we don't even really need to buy the DVDs, So. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's just something I can't let go of the movies for some reason. I can let go of games now, but I can't let go of movies. It took me a long time to let go of games.
It's very rare that I'll even buy a movie these days. I'll just it'll show up on Netflix or Hulu or one of the streaming services that I have.
I'll see it in a year or two.
Well, it's like I still buy the Marvel movies, but they always show up on Netflix, which that's going away. They'll show up on the Disney Plus. Is it?
Will show up.
That's right.
Captain Marvel will be the first one that will not go to Netflix.
That's right. I forgot about that. So, but it's like Alex said, he was impatient, so he bought the digital Spider-Verse. I almost did too, and it was like, I can wait another couple of weeks and get the disc here in the mail, and then watch the digital.
I have my Movies Anywhere account tied to an old coworker of mine who had his tied to his Vudu, so I just have all 300 of the videos that he and his sister have purchased, and I'm like, it's fine. He'll buy it eventually. It'll show up.
Well, that's what my niece and my niece and her husband do, and my brother. They have my Amazon login, and I have all my digital movies tied to my Movies Anywhere, which is tied to Amazon and Vudu and all that. So they just log into the Vudu, and they don't even go to the movie theater and watch the Marvel movies anymore because they know day one I'm going to have the Marvel movie or the Star Wars movie on digital, so they just watch it that way, and I'm fine with that. I don't care. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It's fine, but I can't let go of digital or physical movies for something. But anyway, Nathaniel bought an Xbox One.
He got a new TV
for his 4K Blu-ray player. Have you played?
Who cares about that?
Yeah. Did you play any of the games on the 4K TV?
I have played Apex on both PC and Xbox.
Yeah. How's that? How is the difference of it with? Which I know you have a big. You have a pretty robust computer anyway, so I mean...
Yeah, it looks really good on the computer. The only difference is, I think, when you're in the dropship flying in on Xbox, I can tell there's a lot less overall detail everywhere.
Yeah.
But it still looks really good on the TV.
Yeah.
And when you're in-game, it's like, other than like, hey, you're controlling it with a controller versus mouse and keyboard, it's pretty much the same as far as how it looks.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I was curious to get your input because I knew you had a computer that pretty much run a 4K anyway, and a monitor.
I've had the 4K monitor. I've got a 1440 monitor, so it's like one step below that.
But still, it was pretty. It was a step up from 1080p anyway. So I was kind of curious to see.
It's very high refresh though, so the high frame rates I can get all of it, so that makes it for a nice PC.
Yeah. What TV did you? What TV did you get?
I got a 65-inch TCL one, so it's all Roku.
Oh,
TV.
okay. Yeah. Well, still, I mean,
it works really nice. It's got HDR in it, Dolby Vision and stuff. So
yeah. Well, it's
got some of the pretties.
Well, and that's the trick is finding, when you're buying a 4K TV is you want to make sure it's got this and you want to make sure it's got that. Like my TV is a 4K TV and it does 4K. It does TV shows and YouTube and stuff like that in 4K, but it doesn't have the newest HDR. It's got an older HDR, so it doesn't work with the Xbox.
TVs are getting complicated.
They are. They're getting way too
Vision
complicated.
And the HDR10 standard, which is kind of what most are kind of gone to at this point, I think. Yeah. Not that I know a ton about it, but it looks very pretty.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is with my 4K TV is it's 55 inches. I bought it for $200. It's 4K, and it looks really, really good when we watch TV and we watch movies in 4K on it, and that's all I care about. I don't care about gaming on it. So
that's all I care about. It looks good.
Yeah, but when this one, and I don't know when this one's going to go. This one here behind me is still pumping out just fine, and it's almost 13 years old. So, someday I'll get a TV, and when this one goes out, and I'll probably get a 4K TV then. And, by that time, probably the new PlayStation and the new Xbox will be out, and they'll do some kind of crazy 8K thing, and I'll
get out of here.
So who knows? But anyway, so you played. What did you play on the Xbox One X besides Apex?
Well, I played Apex, which was one of the better looking things on there I played so far. I got the Xbox I got has all the Metro games packed in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting with Metro 33. I've played probably half of that game before, way back in the past.
Yeah, on
original
PC.
Before Redux versions came out. So it's been a while. Then I'm starting to recognize at the beginning. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this, and now I'm kind of past where I played.
Yeah.
I have it for PS4, and I think I'm like halfway through. I even used because I played it before on PC, and I knew how difficult it was going to be. I used the easier mode. Yeah, shame me, whatever.
I don't care.
I got like halfway through, and I got distracted by other games. I would like to go back and finish it because I do like that whole Metro universe a lot. I'm very interested in what goes on.
Yeah, I figured I'd play them just because if I started with the third one and then went back, it wouldn't be as good as just going straight through them. So I haven't done the new one yet, even though it came with it.
Those games do a very good job making you feel alone.
Yeah. I've played a little bit of them on PlayStation 3, and they're on Gamepass on Xbox One.
I don't know about alone, because at least with Metro 2033, the first half, you're with people that entire time.
Like Last Light, from what I remember, you're with people for a while, but then the parts of it where you're by yourself.
Because I just got to a part in the middle where you've gotten sort of to the surface in a ruined city in the middle of like snow and all this stuff, and you have to make sure your mask is on the whole time there.
Yeah.
Versus when you're still.
I know where that part is. I'm a little bit further after that piece.
Yeah, that's kind of where you start to be a little bit more alone because you're trying to catch up to this other guy that you were with, and it's a lot different, a lot more monsters running around by the time you get out there.
Yeah.
But it's still, for an old game, it still looks pretty good.
Yeah, especially the Redux version looks really good.
Yeah. I believe it's one of the Xbox One X enhanced ones.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is.
So it's running a decent resolution.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good on there. The new one's definitely going to look way better, but
yeah.
For an old game, it's not bad. I also bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey because they're doing a big Ubisoft sale this week.
Yeah, it's only $20, I think, isn't it?
Like the regular version, I think is 24 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I got the gold one because it was slightly more, and that way I get the DLC that I didn't have on the PC version. Yeah, I've spent 100 hours completing it on PC. I'm like, no, I want it again. And so I've started over and played a bit, and it looks really nice because it has the HDR in it.
Yeah.
So the lighting that was already really good in that game is even better with the HDR. It gives it a lot more contrast and stuff to it, so just colors and everything pop.
Yeah. Cool.
So I'm not sure how much I'll get back into that one, but I'm definitely going to try and play a lot of it.
Yeah. It helps to play it again, with it being a little prettier. I mean, that always helps.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just different. It's on my big TV, but the frame rate is a little bit less there than on, the PC. It's buttery smooth.
The one game I would love to play on an Xbox One X just to see the difference in it is the original Red Dead Redemption. They did some 4K upscaling with that game, and just some of the sample pictures that I'd seen of it, it looks really awesome. I would love to play just like 20 minutes of it just to see how much better it looks with the upgrades and on the 4K on the Xbox One X. So maybe when the next Xbox comes out, it'll be backwards compatible with the 360. Who knows? I'm not going to run out and buy an X now, but there's been a couple times that
we get all emulated or whatever. You continue doing that in the future, I would assume, especially if they've seen how popular it's been here. They're going to be like, it has to be on the next one.
Yeah, I think you're right about that with the backwards compatibility part of it. Yeah. I think that's
even if it's just you can download it to play it. Even at that level, if it's there, it's still better than nothing.
Yeah. All right, cool.
So that's kind of what I've been playing.
All right, well, let's hop into the news real quick. We got a lot to talk about, but it's mostly just skim over a lot of it. A lot of it's kind of old news for most people because we were where we missed a week, but I still wanted to talk about it. Activision, Blizzard laid off like a lot of people not too long. It's like 800 people. I think it was like a quarter of.
It was a lot.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the thing to load up here. For some reason, it's not loading. It's just sitting here spinning. But I read something like it was almost like a quarter, 8% is what it was. That's right. Let's see. And what was bad is they laid people off, and then that afternoon they did their earnings call where they talked about making the most money that they have ever made in forever with that company. But they laid off 8% of their workforce right before the call. Which really, man, the internet exploded when that happened. It was.
I mean, right?
Well, they say a penny saved is a penny earned.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, I mean, in the fourth quarter earnings report states that Activision Blizzard will actually increase the size of its development teams on their biggest franchises, enabling teams to accelerate the pace and quality of their product. But they did lay off, like I said, 800 people. They did downsize quite a bit. The one thing that kind of surprised me with the layoffs is it was said that there would be no new frontline releases from Blizzard this year. Which
it's not that surprising.
Well, I mean, it's not that surprising, but it is, it is kind of shocking that, they're not going to get, another Warcraft expansion this year. Or
well, maybe they don't. That doesn't necessarily mean we won't get another Warcraft expansion. Maybe that's not considered a mainline release for them anymore.
I don't know. It still makes a ton of money for them, so I cannot imagine them not, saying that that's not a mainline release. I mean, that's got to be I forget how many millions of dollars a month that makes for, Activision. It is.
There's plenty of money to be made there.
So. Yeah, I mean, it is.
But I mean, Blizzard doesn't really. It has like maybe one of their properties is a thing that doesn't really make them tons of money, but pretty much almost every single one of their games that's current makes them a decent amount of money. Even like Diablo still makes them quite a bit of money.
Oh yeah. I mean, and
maybe not as much as the others, but they're making it from like that. Hearthstone, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, like pretty much everything's like here, money.
Yeah,
take it, please.
Especially with the loot boxes or whatever it is that they have in. That shows you how much I know about Overwatch. With the skins, I guess, and the things that they sell on Overwatch probably is a big one. But I mean, you think about how many millions of people are still playing World of Warcraft, paying $15 a month for an account. I mean, it's staggering how much.
Yeah, it's still making that sweet money for them. People still playing it.
And my
friends still do.
I have a lot of friends that still play Warcraft, and Battle of Azeroth. Was one of the biggest releases that they've had for Warcraft in a while. And according to this, it says, let's see, low financial performance this year. Activision said 2018 benefited from the release of World of Warcraft Battle of Azeroth, whereas we are not planning any major frontline releases for 2019. Softness of in-game revenue that will take time to stabilize and return growth. Yada yada yada. But I think it was kind of we kind of saw the writing on the wall. There was a lot of rumors going around for quite a while that that this was going to happen. But man, to get that pink slip, and then that afternoon you hear their press release about how they've made more money this year and they've been more profitable and everything like that.
We're getting rid of you, but we're making more money because of it.
Yeah, it kind of really sucked. And because of that, that was one of the things that the ACLU wanted. They want to kind of try to unionize the gaming industry. And I don't know. I go back and forth with that. We are a union household. So, my wife is a member of the union and the teachers union. And it's been a good thing for us. But, sometimes unions can be bad too. I mean, it just depends.
It all depends on the union and whatnot, and who represents it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if if game devs and stuff having a union would. I don't know. I guess it would help being surprised by things like this. You'd have some kind of representation if something bad happened that was untreated. You were treated unfairly, but I don't know if it would have really helped a situation where a company says we just can't afford to keep you anymore and we don't need this position, because it wasn't just like it was devs. I mean, it was all the way from social media management to office workers to it was everything. It wasn't just like they shut down an entire dev team and laid them off. It was like, it was more across the board. Some things they were just phasing out
from each department.
Yeah, well, it's just things they were phasing out that they seemed redundant and things like that too. But layoffs are layoffs. And speaking of layoffs, Guild Wars developers ArenaNet plans for massive layoffs, according to Kotaku.
That's
the latest,
crazy,
they're talking. There's only about 400 people that work at ArenaNet, so we don't know how big.
Are they working on anything besides?
Is Guild Wars 2
Guild Wars?
people still playing?
Yeah, people still play Guild Wars 2.
Last expansion was launched in September 2017, but I think
that's what I was going to say. WildStar shut down. But according to the latest update that they had of it, there's the management has addressed employees directly in 2 meetings. According to people that were there, there's still no word on how many people will be laid off, but most employees are still in limbo until they find out if they're affected or not. And I think that's the hardest thing when it comes to something like that. Is just you don't know from day to day if you're going to have a job or not.
It's like, there's going to be layoffs, but we're not telling you who or how many.
So if you could keep coming to work, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Also,
exactly. And if you could come in Saturday and get those reports
also
done,
those TPS reports
awesome. Yeah, that would be great.
That would be great. Also, you're going to work out of the basement.
Yeah. So and that sucks. I have been there before. There was, I had a job, and you guys probably remember when I was living in North Carolina. We were just chucking right along, having a good time. Got a phone call about this time that year, and they said, "Oh, by the way, you won't have a job when August rolls around." It's like, serious?
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, you're doing a great job. We're doing this, but unfortunately, Lowe's didn't pick up our contract, so it expires at the end of August. So it's like, sorry. So it's like, here you're in February. We're giving you plenty of time to find a new job and this and that and that and this. That was rough. At least I had a setup, so I could only imagine what it's like, not knowing and being almost, I hate to say strung along, but I mean, sometimes that's the way it is with businesses. Devs and publishers get upset with lack of crossplay on PlayStation 4 again. So here we go. We raised those ugly head again.
This is because Sony is saying, hey, we're cool. We're doing it really awesomely. And pretty much everyone else is saying, lies.
Yeah.
We did exactly what they said, and they told us no. So,
lies.
Really strange mixed messaging here.
Yeah. Sure. War Thunder devs and new CEO Hi-Rez Stuart Clay asks Sony publicly to include crossplay support with their game through posts on Twitter. And shortly after an interview, Sony Interactive Worldwide Studios chairman said that Sony was open to crossplay, but that publishers and developers needed to take necessary steps to get there. So...
and he outlines these specific steps of talk with your PlayStation account manager and these other things, and then people have said the most high profile one was the CEO of Chucklefish, who does Wargroove and some other stuff before that, publishes it. Said, hey, we did that. They told us no.
Yeah, Wargroove was one.
We did it repeatedly for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, they were the ones really. In the forefront here the past couple of weeks of wanting crossplay on Wargroove. It's crossplay literally on every other console but PlayStation 4. And I don't know. I mean,
I don't see how crossplay is a big deal. Cross progression or anything monetized, that type of thing. Sure, I can see the hiccups there, but just letting people play the pool bigger means more people for everyone, and it's just come on.
I don't know, and you'd sell more games, because if somebody okay, with Wargroove that we're going to be doing a review on, I have it on Switch, Robert has it on Switch, you guys have it on PC. It's but we could all sit down and play together if we want to. I don't know.
I don't see it in here, I've seen it in some other article somewhere where Sony had basically said something. Well, it's more complicated than flipping the switch and yada yada yada. And then like literally somebody like responded to that like, all we have to do is flip a switch.
Yeah.
It's set up. Just let me flip the switch.
Like, okay, sure. Not
give me the word, boss, and I'll flip that switch. Yeah.
There are certainly some cases out there where it's built that way for cross-platform. All they have to do is probably just say, "Hey, say yes to PS4," and then they're done.
I'm sure it's more complicated than just literally flipping a switch. This is a lot of he said, she said.
Work, basically, so all they have to do is flip a switch because it's there already. They're not.
And I get that, but we're only getting like parts of the story here. We don't really get to see the full conversation. The dev says they just tell me no.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're giving some explanation to it.
And but Sony's still dumbasses. They're stupid. They're dragging for something they shouldn't be. Like, let people play together. It works fine everywhere else. Yeah. Why not you? Oh, wait, because you're the big guy in the block.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. We've sold 10 billion consoles. We don't need crossplay. That's their reason. And okay, I was going to save this for the other thing, but I'm going to go ahead and rant now. I think not only with the crossplay crossplay issues, I think Microsoft has a unique opportunity that come E3 to, since Sony is not going to be there in any way, shape, or form, to come out with the announcement of their new console, whether it comes out in 2020 or 2021. They announce it with some specs. They say what it's going to have, and if it's going to have backwards compatibility, if it's going to have cross-platform, play with other people, if it's going to have everything that everybody wants, I think that's going to take a lot of steam away from Sony whenever they do announce their next console.
I mean, this is just like flip-flop from last generation around. The company that's on top isn't caring as much, so the company that's like trying to play catch-up does all these different strategies that people are like, oh, hey, that's cool. And the next consoles come out and it just flips around.
But you know what? It always does that.
May see that again? We may not, but that seems to be kind of... It feels like that's what's shaping up to happen with all the different things that like Microsoft is kind of doing to sort of set themselves up for the future. And then Sony's just out here doing things like this crossplay stuff that people are like, well, why aren't you letting us do this, Sony? So there's like, from PR perspective, a little bit of it seems like we have that as a setup. No, it may not happen that way, but it kind of feels that way a little bit.
Yeah, it really does. There was a Nintendo Direct while we were gone. Just going to hit on some of the games that were announced.
There's actually kind of a couple since we were gone.
Yeah, there actually was. The one that happened the other day that I didn't put in the show notes. They showed those the Pokemon Sword and Shield. They showed like 7 minutes of it was a short little thing. But it's a Pokemon game. It's a real official RPG Pokemon game on a home console. Finally. I've only been waiting 20 years for this, so...
Only 20.
Yeah, only 20, so...
Yay!
Yay, so that's a day one by for me. Anyway, so Super Mario Maker 2 was announced. No big shock there coming to the Switch. I figured that would be one that would come.
I mean, maybe, but you didn't know, like, this was actually bigger, I think, than it could have been, because it could have just been like, here's a port of it, yay, but no, this is actually a sequel that's adding stuff to it.
Yeah.
And it looks cool. They showed off, like, a lot of the new stuff, so it's like, yeah, that's cool.
Well, I have a feeling that since it was so heavily dependent on 2 screens, that by the time they would have reworked it anyway, it would have been easier just to have made a whole new game than it would be.
But they could have done that, too, like, the same way they did kind of like Mario Kart 8, right?
Yeah.
So it could be, like, mostly the same content, it's just on the new platform. We rejiggered it so it works well, but content-wise, it's the same. But no, there's new stuff here, so that's nice to see.
Yeah, and I love that game. Not so much making the levels. I enjoyed more downloading people's levels and playing them than I did.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
so play all the weird levels that you're like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
why would you
I don't even know how to do this. They talked about the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 3.0 update with the new Amiibo figures and all that kind of stuff.
Gestures coming.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid Snake and Castlevania, Simon Belmont Amiibo figures. I really want that Belmont Amiibo. That looks pretty sweet.
All of them look pretty good.
Yeah, they all look good. But I don't want all of them. I mean, I do, but I don't.
I'm done with amiibos. Just done.
I just get the ones that I really, really, really want, to have. Those are the only ones I ever get. So
I went so hard on those when they first came out. I'm not camping out for another amiibo ever again.
No, I don't camp out for them. I don't camp out for any of them. Box Boy and Box Girl is coming out with. It's a brand new game, 270 stages, and it has 2-player co-op. It's the first time the Box Boy series has been on the Switch. It was on the 3DS before. It's a very interesting game. It's a cool title. There's an update to Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. It adds co-op mode. It adds new DLC that's paid. It's like $6. It'll get you all new levels and things like that to play co-op. Pretty cool. Showed a little bit more of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which looks awesome. The big one was they've redone Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening from the Game Boy.
It looks so good.
It does.
I dig this art style.
I do too. I really dig that art style.
That was a good way to end the direct, because you have like kind of the cutscene part where you're not sure what it is at first, and then you see like Link's hat and stuff, and you're like, oh crap, what is this? And then you're like, oh hey, it's Awakening.
That's what I was going to say.
In color, it got cool 3D spikes and stuff.
As soon as I saw that rain in the raft, I went, man, is that Link's? Are they doing Link's Awakening? Holy crap!
I think Link's Awakening is the only Zelda game I've ever completed.
Yeah, I could see that. It was a good game, but the art style on this one is just tremendous. I can't wait till that comes out. We already talked about Tetris 99. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night comes out this summer. That's the Castlevania game from the Castlevania guys that kickstarted it. Looks pretty cool. I actually pre-ordered that one because it's only $40 on Amazon, and I think it's supposed to be $60 or something like that. So I thought, let me go ahead and pre-order that. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered's coming out on Switch May 21st. It'll actually have the Vita version of Liberation, which is pretty cool. There's they did
Vita lives.
Yep. They talked. Vita lives, even though they stopped making it as of yesterday. So they have officially quit making it. So Fire Emblem Three Houses looked really, really cool. I had pre-ordered that before the Amazon discount went away, and then I stupidly pre-ordered the collector's edition because I actually got a copy. So now it's like, well, okay, I'll just buy the collector's edition, even though I was only going to buy the regular edition, because those collector's editions are so hard to get. And I just got lucky when they came back up on Amazon and went, oh. So I'll decide on which one I'm going to keep. Hellblade, Suna's Sacrifice is coming out on the Switch. I'm interested to see how this one looks and runs.
I didn't get a chance to play it.
But definitely not as nice as the original release of it.
It looked like it was very scaled down.
As far as port goes, it looked pretty good. And it's also, that game isn't... I don't know. I can see how they can scale it down pretty well and make it still look really good, because it's not like masses of like enemies everywhere, giant vistas. For the most part, it's like very isolated a lot of the times, especially when you're on the interior stuff. It could probably look pretty similar. But yeah, sure, it's a cool game. Come to the Switch, why not? Let more people play it.
Game called Deltarune, I guess is how you say it. Deltarune. Deltarune. It's kind of
like it's related to Undertale.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the first chapter is free, and it finally came out yesterday, I believe. You could pre-order it even though it was free. It was a free pre-order, and I think it just automatically downloaded last night. I haven't played it yet. Yoshi's Crafted World. I played the demo of that on the Switch. That game is fantastic. It looks so good. If you have not played the demo, give it a whirl. It is a very pretty game. And then finally, Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy IX. What's that?
GameSpot, shame on them for not putting everything in here, because they missed some stuff. That was like, one of them was like, oh crap, it's like the Harvest Moon type series that I can't remember the name off the top of my head now.
But
it's like Rune Factory or something like that. No, that's wrong.
Rune Factory. Was it
Is that right?
Yeah, it was Rune Factory.
Yeah, Rune Factory is like that.
But yeah, they have like a port of the game, and then they have the titles of like, oh, we're doing the next one too.
Yeah,
but also, in my mind, more importantly, they skipped out the awesome new looking game from Platinum Games that's called Astral Chain.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? I totally forgot about that.
That's strange, because that was a big one.
Yeah, that was a very big one. Yeah, that is.
It's got a lot of the big designers from some of the other platinum, previous platinum games and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
It looked really, really neat.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
And it comes out in like August.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't put that on there. It was on the IGN one, and I didn't include the IGN link on there. I actually
your recap is lacking. You missed a few things.
Yeah, those were, and the last one on here was Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy IX. Now, Final Fantasy IX is already available. I actually like 8 and 9 better than I like 7. So when 9 came out, I actually bought it. And I actually regret buying it on the Switch. And I will tell you why. Because it is not a port of the PlayStation 2 version. It is a port of the mobile version. So the characters are up-resed and look really nice. But those pre-rendered backgrounds are brown, blurry, and gray, and they look horrible. And I can't get past that when I play it. Because I know I've got it down here on the PlayStation. I'm like, it looks better on the PlayStation. It should have been a PlayStation port, not a mobile port. So be forewarned, ye who buy Final Fantasy games on the Switch, because 7's probably going to be the same way, and I'm saying no to 7 anyway. I'm not, but anyhow, but be warned that go watch some Let's Play videos before you dive in and make sure that's what you want to buy, because as great as 9 is, those background graphics are just brown crap. That's just absolutely. I mean, and it's sad. The characters look so shiny and clean and crisp in HD, but those backgrounds just ugh. So, Reggie is retiring. Doug Bowser is going to take his place over at Nintendo of America.
The funniest part.
It is the funniest part. His name is Bowser, and he's taking over Nintendo. So good luck with that. But I almost hate to see Reggie go. I like Reggie. I always enjoy watching him on stage, doing presentations and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's definitely, of all the different current CEOs and people that are kind of like public faces, he's one of the more recognizable.
Yeah, and he always seems like he's having a good time. They did those crazy videos for a while. Yeah, he seems a lot more personal and down to earth. Says he's going to take time and spend time with his family and stuff like that. So
he's going to go back and work for Little Caesars?
Maybe.
We haven't seen the last of Reggie.
No, I don't think we've seen the last of Reggie.
I think that we've seen the last of him in the gaming industry.
Oh, I do too. I think we'll see him in something else. I don't think we'll see him in gamings anymore.
Because, I mean, you were head of Nintendo of America for many years. What are you going to do after that? That would be like better than that. So why not try a different challenge somewhere else?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was what, president for 15 years, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. It will be 15 years when he retires.
Lots of good successes under his belt. Well, not all him. I mean,
no, but there's
champion Nintendo through a lot of things.
Yep. Speaking of Microsoft, there is Nintendo. There is a rumor that Microsoft is planning on bringing Xbox Gamepass and more to the Switch. Actually, the rumor is that they're going to bring Game Pass and Project xCloud to the Switch. That is very interesting. They don't, nobody has officially come out and said how they're doing it yet. I know we kind of talked off air the other day after we did the review podcast. My feelings on the Game Pass coming to the Switch is probably going to be if you are a paid subscriber to Game Pass on Xbox, it will probably carry over to the Switch, or you can just pay on it on the Switch. And any game that is on Game Pass that is also available on Switch, you could download and play under the Game Pass banner. That's what I think it's going to be, because I don't know. At this point, I don't think the Project xCloud is where they want it at to be able to offer xCloud in the Game Pass to stream Halo or Forza or something to the Switch. I think eventually it will, but I think right now it's just a way to get more subscribers to Game Pass.
I mean, we don't know how far out this potentially
is. Or if
anyway.
even is something that will actually come out or not, if it's something they're talking about or testing or, what it actually may be when it comes out is like, oh, it's not quite as cool as what we imagined it would be. We just don't know.
Well, and they've already do some streaming games in Japan. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is streamed. You could buy it and stream it directly to the Switch in Japan. And I forget what the other one was. There was another one.
Was it Resident Evil?
Maybe
Resident Evil 7.
Maybe Resident Evil 7. Yeah, that was it.
I heard kind of not great things about that.
I actually watched some Let's Play videos. You could do the test, or you could do the demo for Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the Japanese store. But the trouble is you have to sign in with all Japanese, and I never could do it because I couldn't get it translated. But apparently some other people who know Japanese did, and they did some live streams of it, and it actually looked like it worked pretty good. It looked nice, and I have a feeling if it's anything like the Google Play. Or not the Google Play, the Google Cloud thing that I did with Assassin's Creed. It would probably work all right on the Switch.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how that's, with the games being available.
Speaking of Google and rumors, or well, not even rumors, but just vague things we don't know anything about yet, they're having a announcement or something they're doing at GDC.
I saw
so
that.
It'll be interesting to see if that's just like, hey, we're talking about some stuff we did with the streaming and it's not much, or if it's like, oh, hey, by the way, we have this cool new product we're doing or whatever. It'll be interesting to see if it's a thing or not. Just curious to know.
And apparently, one of the other things with the rumor is Microsoft is looking to publish games on the Switch. One of them was Ori and the Blind Forest was one that a lot of people that were saying that they were running on the Switch.
It's deceptively simple because, like, oh, it's a 2D Metroidvania style game. Surely it'll run there, but yeah, that game's like a lot harder to run than some other ones like that would because it's got a lot going on with all the different like special effects and just like the quality of the graphics. But if you could run on the Switch, that would be a really cool title.
And that kind of goes into it would be, and that kind of goes into my anything else with the Project X Cloud and things like that. And I'd said this when we talked off air. I'm really beginning to wonder if this Project X Cloud thing takes off and does really well. And what I mean when I say does really well, I mean runs really well on wherever they put it. I'm wondering if this, we'll have the next Xbox. I'm wondering if after that, which is, the next console generation, not what's coming out in the next couple of years, but after that, if Microsoft would just get out of the hardware business completely and just go strictly licensing xCloud on whatever Nintendo consoles out there, or Fire TV, or whatever Apple thing it is, or whatever. To me, I think they could make more money, and they could still have Halo. They could still have Forza, because you could do it on PC.
Depends. It depends a lot on how things go between now and then. I think there's too many variables now to be able to call it. If they could, they might, but they might just be like, no, we still want to put our hardware out. Who knows?
Well, and I think it'll also be interesting to see what they do with the next console, because we keep hearing there's going to be 2 SKUs. One that's going to be a high-end regular console that takes media and you can download, and then there's going to be a discless system that's only for streaming and download. If we don't hear
anything about whatever their new console by E3 this year, then I think that would be weird. I think that's a perfect opportunity to at least announce something about it. If they don't, then it'd be like, well, I don't know, that's odd. You should at least tell us something, especially with the opportunity they'll have about like nobody else there to really do that. So,
I mean, with them being the only ones there, I mean, this is their chance to get a step ahead of Sony. We don't know when Sony's going to do their own thing. I'm going to assume it's probably going to be after E3 at this point. It's not going to be before. Other than getting information out before everybody else, which, I mean, I don't know if just having the information out there does anything. I don't know. I mean, as long as they don't pull a Sega that says, that they're at E3 and goes, the Sega Saturn's available today. You can go to the store right now and buy it for $300. And then Sony gets up, or for $500. And then Sony gets up and says, our PlayStation will be out in September. It'll be $200. We'll see you guys later.
Drop.
Yeah. It's like, But yeah, I don't know. I think this year's E3 is actually going to be very interesting to see, because with Microsoft being really the only, I mean, we know Nintendo will have their Nintendo Direct that they always have during E3, but Microsoft's going to be the only console manufacturer with boots on the ground there, so they could really potentially Sunday.
I think Nintendo still, I assume, will still have their booth, but Sony not having a booth is gonna be so weird.
Yeah, and I really wonder if it's going to come back and bite them. I don't know. I don't know. So many people nowadays say that E3 is not that important. It's not that big a deal. It's not what it used to be. I don't know if I agree with that or not.
I still think it's got a place.
Yeah.
It does have a place. It's called, hey, here's this cool thing that we can hype up and get everybody talking about games all at the same time, and people know to expect it, even who aren't even in the gaming industry. A lot of places will cover it, like all your big magazines or news sites that don't really just do gaming only. They'll come with like, hey, here's what happened at the E3 show.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's nothing else other than that. Like PAX isn't really built for that.
Right.
And some of the other conferences, they just have other different kind of focuses, versus like E3 is still this big kind of hype moment around games where everybody can be like, ooh, look at all the new stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and then now with all these rumors of Microsoft and Nintendo working together and this and that and that and this, I mean, it could, if they announce that stuff at E3 and Microsoft announces a new console, it's just like, let's put a boot on Sony's throat and see what they can come up with. It's kind of like, all right, we've curb stomped you. Now, can you come back and give, what do you got? I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's really going to be interesting, I think. But yeah, so that's all I've got. Has anybody got anything else? Eric's frozen. It looks like he's asleep. Oh, now he's back. It was hilarious. You were just frozen like this with your eyes closed. And it was just kind of like, is he froze or did he fall asleep? That is. I'm aware. So I'm trying to think if we got anything coming up. I'm going to be real busy with work here the next month or more, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to crank out any live streams. And we're not real sure about the next episode of the podcast. It may be a couple Saturdays that we do things. We are going to do the review podcast at the end of the month, come hell or high water, and it's Wargroove. And we've already got April's game, which is Fubu. I don't know how you say it. Fubu.
I can look it up.
Furby. I don't know. I can't remember.
I guarantee it's not Furby.
Is it not Furby? Oh, I thought it was the new Furby game coming out.
I thought it was like Fimbu. But
Fimbu, that's it. Fimbu. See, I can't even remember what it was called. But it's like a Norse mythology game. It takes place after Ragnarok has happened. So the story sounds really cool. I have no idea about the gameplay or anything. Graphics look very interesting. It's already out on Switch and PC, I believe. But yeah, that'll be our April game to review, so we got some time to dig into that. But Wargroove is this month, and I'm excited to talk about some Wargroove because it's
Fimbul.
Fimbul, that's right.
Fimbul.
Fimbul, yeah. I haven't gotten up on my Norse mythology in quite a while, but I know that's a significant thing in Norse mythology. So. But anyway, that will be a very cool game to talk about, hopefully. Like I say, I have no idea going into it. The developer or the PR guys just sent me codes out of the blue the other day and said, here you go. So, and I don't even remember if I asked them. They just showed up. So there you go. So, all right. Well, if we got nothing else, we're going to call this a show. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening and hanging out in the chat with us. If you don't catch us live, you might want to try if you get the chance. Ask us questions on the fly. You can see Eric going to sleep over there like he is right now, or crawling around on the floor and under his couch,
chasing a cat.
That's right. That's a one-time experience. Maybe you'll see the cats again.
Maybe
behind me on the futon, but you're not going to see them getting into stuff.
Well, that's all right. I mean, it happens.
All good.
Yeah, it's all good. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you all next time. See ya.
See you guys later.
See ya.